To get started today, we're going to be starting with the whipped back stitch. To do the whipped back stitch, we start with a simple back stitch. So we come up through from the back, we travel over our stitch length, and we go back down to the back of our fabric. We travel down the length of our stitches, and we come back up to the front. And then we take our needle and we go right into the bottom of our first stitch. Bring it down to the back, travel over for our next stitch, come up to the front, and into the bottom of the previous stitch. So we're going to continue the back stitch all the way down to the bottom of the line. I try to keep my stitch lengths consistent. I'm still learning and practicing. I do feel like I'm getting better. And I think it just takes a little patience with yourself. So we'll continue the back stitch all the way to the bottom. Once we take our last stitch, we're going to come up through the hole of our very last stitch. And this is where we do the whipped portion of this stitch. We thread our needle right underneath of each one of these stitches. For this stitch, we're staying completely on the top of the fabric, just weaving our needle right through each one of the stitches until we get all the way back up to the beginning of the back stitch. And once we're there, to finish off, we'll take our needle and put it in the hole of our very first stitch, down to the back, and we're ready to tie off. For the split stitch, we're going to bring our needle up to the front from the back, and we're going to take our first stitch. Instead of traveling forward, we're going to bring our needle right up into the previous stitch, right up towards the center of those threads, basically splitting our stitch. We'll travel over and take our next stitch. Again, coming towards the center of that stitch. With our needle, we're going to come up through the front, travel over, and take our next stitch. Both of these stitches give really nice results when doing outlines, stems for flowers, stitching out words and letters. And they're pretty quick stitches to do. Once we get to the end, we'll bring our needle back down to the back and simply tie this off. Next, we'll take a look at these two stitches on a project. So for the word smile, I used the whipped back stitch. And for tomorrow is a new day, I used the split stitch. And even though I am just beginning in my journey on embroidery work and handwork, I do feel like I'm coming quite a good ways along. There's definitely room for improvement, but I'm happy with where I am now. And I think down the road, it'll be fun to look at these beginning projects and to see how far I've actually come. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and you give these stitches a try. We'll see you soon. Bye.